Feel the chaos!
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSportsMonies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to my guide to jungling Chaos Knight. Sorry it's been a few days since my last guide, I've been taking some time off, but I am back now, so should expect more regular updates from me. Anyway, this guide is, it's something that I'm a little bit excited about, because when I was looking at heroes and sort of debating what was going to be my next guide, I thought, let's see what CK has to offer. Maybe there's some way to make this hero good in the jungle, because I feel like this is a very underrated hero. Historically speaking, CK was basically played the same way Tiny is, a mid-game ganker that eventually just became a carry that was just out of control. And I think something that's really cool about CK is that Tiny has very clear power spikes. So with Tiny, you're waiting for specific points and specific abilities so that you can gank people, which to a certain degree CK is also dependent upon. But CK doesn't really have a sharp jump in his right-clicking potential. CK is very much okay with just sort of right-clicking all game long. With Tiny, you get the Echo Saber, which does help him get kills on people after burning his combo off, and you get that before you get your Aghanim Scepter, then you get your Aghanim Scepter, and then you're super scary, and you have super farming abilities. CK is a little bit harder than Tiny because you don't have these awesome farming abilities, but CK also isn't reliant on getting these crazy items. CK needs the items to stay relevant, but he doesn't need these items to be relevant. So I'm also going to avoid that camp right there because I don't want to fight a hard camp that's ranged, because then I'll be taking too much damage from me right now. Getting a salve is also optional, but let's talk about skill build. So at level 1, we're going to get a point in our crit, and this is because the crit is a great value option. It's 125% damage, and it only increases by 50 damage per point, so it's very linear scaling, and it also gives you lifesteal when it procs. You only have a 12% chance to crit, but that 12% is significant because it's a pretty big chunk of damage to give you life back. So I get a second point in my crit in this video. If I could change one thing about this video, that would be it. I was experimenting because I thought that might run a little bit faster, but in truth, you should always be putting those extra points into your W. Wait, he said W, not the stun? Yes, the W, not the stun. But the W doesn't do damage, but the W reduces armor. See, Chaos Knight's been sort of tweaked and buffed with a lot since he's been relevant, that he's actually kind of good now. And you don't really want to max out his stun, because his stun, the cooldown is always relatively low, 10 seconds, but who cares? It's 140 mana. You don't have the mana to do it. Like, you can't really use it all the time. If you're jungling, that essentially makes it useless. The Reality Rift, however, starts with an 18-second cooldown that scales down to 10 at level 4, so it matches your stun cooldown. It's great at initiating on enemies, so you can use it to gank as soon as you leave the jungle. And most importantly, it reduces armor and has 15 mana. So at level 4, I believe it's -8 armor. It might be a little bit more, a little bit less. But I know level 1 it's only -1 armor, and at level 2 it goes up to -3 armor. That's a pretty significant jump. -1 armor on a creep is nothing particularly impressive, but when you throw on that additional minus armor and you crit on a creep that doesn't have any base armor, you've suddenly just healed yourself for a third of your health. So it's really, really, really good to use in the jungle. You get a better cooldown for putting more points in it, and ultimately, you typically want to put extra points into the ability that you plan on spamming, and because of the fact that the mana cost is so low, it is an ability that you want to spam. It's almost like when you go to gank people, you use this ability, and then if you think that you can get the kill, if you've got allies, whatever, and you want to secure it, then use your Q, because if you fail a gank with a maxed Reality Rift, then who cares, you'll have it back up in 10 seconds. But if you initiate by using your Q, then you're kind of out of mana, like almost entirely so. The same is sort of true for Phantasm, but we'll get to that. So the goal of this build, if you didn't already tell by looking in the bottom right corner of the screen, is that I'm going to be trying to get an armlet, which you're going to get almost at exactly 10 minutes. I've tried doing this build a couple of different ways in terms of which items to get first. With this, I got the oven mitts, the gloves of haste first, and with the oven mitts, I found that I got my my armlet about 20 to 30 seconds faster than if I had opened up with the Helm of the Iron Will. One thing I will say though is that I did have to buy a salve this build, and I don't think I had to buy a salve with the Helm of the Iron Will build, and overall the Helm of the Iron Will build is the safer choice. Now again, these are kind of minor mechanical things because they're just trying to get you through the jungle, and you do heal a bit more when you have the Gloves of Haste because you attack more, but if you want the safer option, go for the Helm of the Iron Will. From then, I always get my Gloves of Haste. I get whichever one of those I get first, I get the other one second. Then finally get my Claws of Attack and my Recipe, and this guy does finish at about 10 minutes with the Armlet. Now 10 minutes is kind of a long time to spend in the jungle, but remember, Armlet is more expensive than your Hand of Midas. In terms of the items that I get after this, Treads is sort of a must. You really want a Tread toggle when you use your abilities. And you really... A quick tip, when you engage with Phantasm, use your Reality Rift first, because it synergizes so freaking well. You can get solo kills very easily in the mid-game if you get lucky with your Phantasm. So historically, people didn't get points in Phantasm until level 2 because it only gives you one illusion. But remember, these illusions do full damage. They take more damage, but they do full damage. And you have a 50% chance to get an extra one, so if you use it and get lucky and get the extra illusion, that is enough to trap a lot of heroes and keep them from running away, and then you can just kill them because they have no armor because you've already used that. And remember, all your illusions get your crit, and if you used your armlet beforehand, then they get the bonus strength, so you have essentially 3 CKs hitting someone who's got -8 armor and can't retreat without killing one of those illusions, which, even though they do take double damage, are still really tanky. So leave by 10 minutes, get your armlet, go out and kill people, have fun, guys. This is, I think this is going to be one of the more underrated of my guides, but I really enjoyed putting this together and playing with it. So, my name's eSportsMonies, and have fun out there, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSportsMonies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and thank you for watching that video. If you liked that content, don't forget to hit the like button. If you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button. There's actually a little bell icon next to the subscribe button, and if you hit that button, then whenever you have YouTube open and I go online or post a video or really do anything, you'll get a little update from me. If you want to support the channel further, there are Amazon affiliate links in the video description below for pretty much every single piece of hardware in my computer. Additionally, there's also an Amazon referral link for Amazon Prime, so whenever you use that to get an Amazon Prime membership, you support the channel at no additional cost to you. So thank you very much, guys, and have a wonderful day.